Hello everybody, welcome back to my Let's Play of Torment Tides of Numenera. However you say it, it's episode 118 of IVATOPIA, and we're about to hand somebody over to him to feed, apparently. So let's see if it helps him. Because maybe he's got something trapped inside him, so here we go. Good, he says, rumbling his hands together with a rasping sound. A pleasant, instant warmth streams through you, lines in every vein with pleasure. Tell me, he says, turning to us, tell me how you met. Speaks, but you can't focus on his words. You feel the heat of his regard for you diminishing, but find it monstrously hard to care. What? Thunderous pulse of pleasure. Whoa, what's going on? You see tentacles spilling from within. Yes, it is an animation for it. From within Aronton's clothing, a maw opening. It's not going to kill him, is it? Rim pierced through the portal and the world beyond it. She slumps. Upon her gaze, you find Aronton staring at her in return, a curious expression on his face. What the? Who's that? What just happened? I can't move it. What's going on? A pale, transparent figure steps out from whatever world lies on the other side. He turns this way, and that, perhaps attempting to get his bearings, seeing Aronton's and his maw directly behind him, he scampers off to the side to create some personal space. Oh, on finally noticing you, he gives you a cheery wave. Aronton conceals the maw once more and gives you a tremendous smile. Your companion falls silent with a puzzled expression. Huh? What the fuck just happened? You okay, by the way? Nothing happened, you got full health, nothing happened to you. The pale, ghostly figure wears outlandish clothes and a horn helm. Ocua tangled scars from unfamiliar web and loop and curl from his transparent body. Oh, he says, tilting his head, you found my brother yet? We never met before. Was I supposed to be looking for him? Really? He says, groaning. You told me you. He trails off and slaps his forehead. The impact makes his helm tilt forward. He puts up his hand to hold it in its place. Of course, right. This is the first time we've met, isn't it? Yeah. Straightens, holding out his hand formally. Hello, these seems getting worse. Kwazimian. And I've been travelling through time and looking for my brother for millions of years. Nice to meet you. Okay. Won't my hand go right through yours? Shake his hand. Your hand slips right through his, and he punches the air in delight. Ha! You almost never fall for that. That'll keep me going for at least another 100 times of you not trying to shake my hand. Okay. He catches your eye and shrugs. The motion makes his helmet slip forward again. Hey, I've been doing this a long time. You find entertainment where you can. Okay. Anyway, let me know if you see my brother, huh? Came out of the moat. Are you connected to Bloom? To the what? He looks around. Oh no, I'm not. I'm just sort of, well, let's call it swim. Between places, following currents, you know, someone pulled a plug and here I am. How many times have we spoken? Good question, he says, consulting an invisible mental list just above your head. Thousands, I say. Always a pleasure, mind you. Though I don't know why we keep running into each other. I don't see anyone else more than once. He squints. If I had to guess, it's your relationship with the tides, but I don't mind. It's nice seeing your familiar face. Where are the scars from? Scars, he says, looking down. Oh, these look painful. No idea. Have to say, I'm glad I don't remember though. Are you a ghost? I like to think so, he says, shrugging, but I don't really remember dying, just the travelling and searching. And you'll think that this helmet wouldn't keep moving around if I was, you know, spectacle. He flashes a grin. On the other hand, I seem to remember promising my brother I would haunt him when I died, so that's some evidence for the other side. Do you ever look like? Well, sort of like me, minus the helmet, he says. Take the helmet off then. Sorted, there's your brother. And he's from a world long ago, so he might be wearing the helmet. He pauses. Oh right, I do this every time we meet. It's just that I usually go centuries between running into you, and I always forget that you can't have possibly seen him. He winks. But there's a touch of sorrow in it. Still, let me know if you see him, huh? What's the helmet about anyway? So glad you asked, he says, and he looks it. Huh? So glad you asked, he says, and he looks it. What do you mean, and he looks it? I love this story. So glad you asked, he says. Oh, and he looks so glad I asked. Okay, I get it. He looks happy I asked. Okay. I love this story. He centers the helmet on his head. I ended up on this battlefield once. Well, it hadn't gone well for the side wearing these helmets. I walked up this blackened hill following the shouting, and I saw it was probably a city once, but it was on fire and covered in black flames. He shakes his head. The helmet doesn't move with him. There were just 2 fighters left, the big man wearing his helmet and her. She was huge and made of screaming shadows and that same black fire, and when the warrior charged at her, roaring, she just touched him. She touched him and he fell over, twitching and burning. He looks up at you. One of these times you told me she was called the Sorrow. Oh, fudge. Sorrow's been chasing me. Since this is the first time we met, I'm guessing you have some questions for me. Time is a little confusing. Sorrow destroyed a city. A big one, around the size of 3 Sasquatches. Sagres, oh, it's the main city, isn't it? And the balloon. He says, but the people of the city were abusing the tides in some way. From what you told me about the Sorrow, the sort of thing makes her really unhappy. He straightens the helmet again. But I didn't think they deserved to vanish, despite whatever they'd done. So I took the helmet off the warrior when he'd, you know, stopped melting a bit. Now I carry it with me to remind me of them. You know about the tides? Of course I do. He says, then raises a wary finger. Sorry, forgot. First time, I know. He yawns. They pull me from place to place, like normal tides do. It's why I keep seeing different times and places and never stop in any one place for long. Tides don't rest, and neither do I. He yawns again, even wider. It's a little tiring sometimes, or at least I think I'm tired, which is probably the same thing. Hey, he says, focus on you. Can you actually sense the tides flowing through me? No. Well, let's fix that, he says, cracking his ghostly knuckles. What? Oh, cool. Gain XP. Before you can react, the thrust of 5 fingers through your chest. The feeling is unpleasant. In fact, you feel the tides surging through his arm, through you. And you see them curving back over your shoulders and back through him, binding you together. There, he says. It should be easier for you to sense the tides now. Just remember that she's out there flowing around with the tides doesn't seem to make him mad. Abusing them, I don't recommend it. Skill level in Tidal Friendly has been increased by 1. Current skill level on Specialized gain 2. No. What did you do to me again? I made it easy for you to sense and control the tides in other people, he says. Don't worry about paying me. My pockets don't work. Alright. Wow. You got anything else to add?
Did you want something?
You got anything else to add to what's happening here, since you seem to be looking into this stuff? Why were you acting so strange right now, son? I don't know, I thought, she sagged. I was just being wistful. I don't remember him, don't remember a lot of things. Maybe we should talk to him again. Just, oh, talk to him again. Okay, that's new. You didn't say that last time. Okay. Doesn't welcome you with his rolling golden words this time. He merely nods in greeting. Still, touch of the hypocrite calm rolls over you. Hypnotic, sorry, not hypocrite, hypnotic. Recognize Rin, don't you? Oh, cool, this is new. I believe I do, he says, turning to Rin. You came through me, didn't you, my dear? Came through me? What? She frowns. What do you mean I came through you? That sounds gross. Yeah, it does. You emerged from another world while I was feeding on the dying love between a married couple, he beams at her. I don't know why you ran off, he says with a frown. I would have been happy to help you find your way home after I finished eating. She pales, looking with a little horror at his clothes and the more underneath. I don't. His eyes widen and understanding dawns. I do remember. You were there, weren't you? But I was so afraid I was running from something. She grabs your arm. She obviously is trying to control emotions, but she bounces on the balls of her feet, and the corners of her mouth curl and uncurl in an irresistible grin. This is it, she whispers. My way home. Turn to Aradan. What do I need to do to send Rin home? We don't have time for this right now. Rin will come back now. I'm sending her home. My maw does not open whenever I will it, he says, panting his chest fondly. It requires substance. The bands of love and the hate that binds us. Bring me someone who feels strongly for you, and we will secure a path. Do any of my current companions have the connection? You said both of them and I could pick. Do I need to do to send her in home again? Connection. Closes his eyes and raises his hand. After a quiet silent moment, he lets it fall again. I thank you, but not... Oh, seriously? Oh, great. And sorry, background, there's a pack going on. Thank you, but no, this will require a different flavour. You need to find someone else. Someone who harbours powerful emotions for you, but hasn't spent a great deal of time around you. Like who? What do I need to do to send her in home again? What the fudge? How do I do this then? Do I have anything? No, I don't, do I? I guess if everything's would pass on to the thing where it wouldn't it? So what do I do? We have to. She looks at you silently, obviously certain you know what she's talking about. We have to open them or whatever. I don't know how. You guys got any idea how we can open it? There's nothing. There's nothing there to do with it. What about you?
No? Oh, it's you. Can I ask you something?
I guess, but I kind of want to know what's going on. You know better, you think he looked thoughtful. He rubs the side of his face and then corners his sleep-bruised eyes. I've been pondering some things for over an hour about what happened back there in Meltas. All those people with stories so like your own, and now so many of them have just stopped, and I barely knew them at all. How he paused, toying with his... Ooh! I just thought someone who has strong feelings against me, but I've barely been around. What about... When I started, it was him and that woman that picked him. Maybe going to her would. Maybe. But again, I'm trapped in this more, so I can't get back to her. So how the fuck should I do this? Let's finish what you were saying first. He pauses, toying with his double, whatever, and staring at the sky. His glow pulses growing brighter and brighter until it's hard to look at him directly. How are they supposed to be part of my story if they're dead? Talk about them like they didn't exist before you came along. They were important to you. They were my brothers and sisters, and now they're gone. It's not really about you. They aren't part of your story. Most of them were born long before any of us. Which don't matter, only yours. They're important, sir. Oh, I know, he says, chuckling. I didn't think they appeared the moment I arrived. She just said, it must have been hard for them, you know, waiting for me to get there, knowing that things would be so boring until I did. Wow. Then he slaps his forehead. We weren't talking about me. We were talking about your family. There, he begins, then winches. The glow around him is glowing brighter than it ever has before. He doesn't appear to notice, however. The stories are over now, aren't they? I mean, unless they come back at some dramatic moment, more powerful than they were before. I love doing that. Wow, okay. Assuming that doesn't happen, what does it mean? Their stories matter to them, I think, but what do they matter now? The golden light of his aura and his casual words can't quite hide the glimmering beads of sweat rolling down his cheeks. Who escaped, they didn't. It's up to us to determine whatever their lives and deaths matter. The lives are over, it doesn't matter, we must make sure our lives do. I like to think they live on in our memories, if nowhere else. They're stories of theirs that we know are part of something larger now. That one. Yes, he says wistfully, a large story. I've always lived life to the next adventure, but now I'm wondering where it will end. What will it be like? He pauses, shocked by his own thought. What will happen after? This is not helping with this situation, by the way. You got anything to help? Go again. He says, giving you a salute. The large helmet tips forward, blocking his eyes. Damn it. Where's your brother again? What do you do to me again? No, he's not help. Crud, what do I do?
I think that's best.
So how do we open it? I need somebody who's not been around us, but I'm trapped here, so I can't like bring her or whatever. I'm gonna save because we have done something, haven't we? Let's do a new save. I've done one for a while. That's the more. There's a canteen. I guess we're going to have a look around and maybe we'll run into somebody. You know, we're going to do that next episode, so please like, please subscribe and all that good stuff. See you next week. Have a great one for the day out there. Bye everyone!